It was a cold, rainy night on the outskirts of London. The road was empty, the fog thick enough to swallow the headlights. A young traveller named Edward Clarke was driving alone, heading back from a late business trip. The wind howled through the trees, and the rain hit the windshield like tiny shards of glass. Suddenly, the car coughed, stuttered, and came to a dead stop. The fuel gauge read empty. Edward sighed in frustration, glancing around. There was nothing but darkness. Then, through the mist, he noticed a faded old wooden sign by the roadside. Hill Crest Hotel, 1 mile. With no other choice, he grabbed his coat and started walking. The path was uneven, the air unnervingly still except for the occasional hoot of an owl. Finally, the silhouette of an old building emerged, tall, crumbling, with faint lights flickering behind cracked windows. A rusty board above the door read Hill Crest Hotel. As Edward stepped inside, the heavy wooden door creaked shut behind him. The lobby was dimly lit, filled with antique furniture, covered in dust. At the reception stood an old man in a black suit, pale as candle wax. His voice was soft, almost whisper-like, when he said, "Good evening, sir. You're quite fortunate. Only one room left. Room for 104. Edward nodded, signing the guest book. As he reached for the pen, he noticed something strange. Every previous name had been crossed out in red ink. He hesitated, but brushed it off. The old man smiled faintly, handing him an ancient brass key. "Sleep well," he said slowly, "and whatever you do, do not open the closet." Edward forced a laugh, thinking it was some odd hotel humor, and took the lift upstairs. The corridor was narrow and dim, lined with portraits whose painted eyes seemed to follow him. When he reached room 404, the number plate hung loosely, as if it had been ripped off and reattached. Inside, the room smelled of damp and old wood. The wallpaper was peeling, the lights flickering weakly. On the far side stood a tall, old-fashioned wardrobe. Just as he set his bag down, he noticed words scratched into the wall beside it. "Do not open the closet." He frowned, whispering to himself, "How very peculiar." Tired from the long drive, he ignored it, switched off the lamp, and lay down. At around 2 in the morning, Edward woke to a soft thump, coming from the wardrobe. His heart skipped. He sat up, listening. Another sound, knock, knock, louder this time. The wardrobe trembled slightly. He grabbed the bedside lamp, whispering nervously, "Is someone there?" Silence. Then, a faint breath from inside. He slowly approached, every step echoing in the stillness. His hand shook as he touched the door handle, cold as ice, and with one quick pull, he opened it. Inside was no coat, no suitcase, nothing. Just an old mirror standing upright, dusty, cracked, and strangely warm to the touch. He stared into it and froze. His reflection was smiling, but Edward wasn't.